moonlit night, Adalbi made a choice. She met Chick at the old mango tree and placed her mother's coral bracelet in his palm. It's all I have. Sell it. Start something small. Show them you're serious. Chick's eyes burned with silent determination. Months passed. Chick returned, not as a boy with a god, but as a man with a cart and a vision. He had opened a small palm wine business at the market square. Word spread, and so did his success. By the time he returned to ask for Adalbi's hand, her father hesitated, then smiled. The boy has become a man, he said. Let love build its house. And so, on a breezy Harmattan morning, Adalbi poured palm wine into Chike's cup, just as he had dreamed.
In a small African village lived a poor boy named Malik. Every morning before going to school, he would scatter crumbs near an old tree for the crows. People laughed, saying, "You're wasting food." But Malik smiled and replied, "They have no one else." One year, drought struck. Crops failed. Food vanished. Villagers grew desperate. But near Malik's home, something strange happened. The tree under which he fed the crows remained green. Fruit still grew on its branches. The elders were puzzled. Then one day, a flock of crows flew in with strange seeds in their beaks. They dropped them around the tree. Within days, sprouts appeared. Plants the villagers had never seen, but ones that grew even in the drought. Malik's act of kindness had created a miracle. The crows returned what he had given, hope. From that day on, the village never ignored a hungry animal or bird. And Malik was remembered not for his poverty, but for his compassion.
Long ago in a prosperous African kingdom, there lived a prince named Omari. Though born into wealth and power, his heart was cold, and his deeds were cruel. Omari taxed the villagers heavily, took their crops, and forced them into labor. One day, an old woman appeared before him, her back bent with age. She pleaded, "Prince Omari, have mercy on your people. A ruler's strength lies in their joy, not their tears." Omari laughed. "Old fool, leave before I punish you for your insolence." The woman, secretly a powerful spirit, transformed before his eyes into a radiant figure. "You have failed the test of kindness, Omari. From this moment, your greed will be your downfall." That night, the prince's palace crumbled, and his treasures turned to dust. The kingdom's people, freed from his tyranny, rebuilt their lives in peace. Omari, now a beggar, wandered the land, learning humility from those he once oppressed. The tale reminds us, power without compassion is a fleeting curse.
In a grand African estate, a wealthy man ruled with pride and fear. His servant, Kola, was loyal, quiet, obedient. But one day, the rich man accused him of betrayal. With a twisted smile, he said, "Before I destroy you, I'll show you the life you never have." He transferred millions into Kola's account just to take it back and leave him broken. But the next morning, the rich man was dead. No signs of struggle. Only a note beside his body. "Thank you for the life I never asked for." Kola vanished. Some say he was never a servant. Just a patient man playing a long game.
The fairy kingdom of Ignesu, long time ago, when the mountains still smoked and the river glowed with fire, there was a kingdom called Ignesu, where the people spoke to fire as you speak to your mother. The flame were friends, and the queen Isele, the blessed heart, was their guardian. Queen Isele, her eyes were embers, her forehead the cockle of the earth. She ruled with fire in her hands and mercy in her soul, but not all fire are kind. No, one night, a greedy man named Balomi from the dark reach of the ashland whispered to a spirit locked deep in the volcano's belly, a spirit made of black flame and broken promises. With it, it struck. The palace fell. Fire turned against its own, and the sky cried smoke for 7 days. Queen Isele perished in the blaze, and her daughter, little Azana, escaped, hidden under the cloak of an old priestess and the wings of the wind. Years passed, And Inquisi forgot the warmth of true flame. Balomo sat on the throne, his crown cold, his fire falls. But deep in the ash waste, among the burnt tree and lava stone, the girl survived. She learned from the fire serpent, danced with desert winds, and listened to the mountains' heartbeat. One night, under the flame moon, just like the night she was born, Asana returned. She came not with armies, but with ash on her skin and fire in her soul. At the temple of embers, where holy the worthy pass, she faced the trial of flame. The fire danced before her, twisted into vision of lust, of fear, of her mother's dying scream. But the flame did not burn her. It bowed. The phoenix flame, as the word, blew in her heart, and the great fire serpent Aruja rose to her side. His scale was like morning bones, his face star of flame. With him, she walked to the gate of Ignisu. Now hear me well, children. When the people saw her, they did not share, no. They remembered her mother light, and they knelt. She walked into Balomu's throne hall. Her dagger had glow, her heart steady. Balomu rose, his black flame rising, but Asana fire was wild. It was true. And when the smoke cleared, Balomu was ash, and Asana stood alone. She did not crown herself with gold. No, she lit a single flame in her palm, held its eye, and said, I am the daughter of the blaze, the queen of the people, the flame that protects, not born. And from that day, Ignisu burned bright once more, not with fear, but with hope. Now go, sleep with fire in your heart, and remember, the true flame does not destroy, it guides, it warms, it lives. And the kingdom live in peace from the day on.
Kemi walked alone through the forest, firewood on her head, as the sun dipped low. She'd taken this path 100 times. But today, the air felt strange. Then, a snap. A twig broke behind her. She froze. Turned around. No one. But when she looked down, 2 sets of footprints. One hers. One right behind her. She ran. Fast. Branches tore at her skin. Footsteps echoed behind her, quick and heavy. She didn't look back. She reached the village screaming. People gathered, confused. No one followed you, they said. You were alone. But that night, under the moonlight, at her doorstep, 2 wet footprints. No knock. No shadow. Just footprints. And Kemi. She lives alone.
In the quiet village of Umunumo, nestled between swaying palm trees and dusty